Whether it be map assets, carts, or structure ornaments, if you are a manufacturer, these are 5 tips that you need to know before you start manufacturing.
I'm YK2012, founder of the Upland Guide. I'm here to unlock the secrets of the Upland Metaverse. On this channel, you can find everything you need to build your Upland empire. Expert tutorials, winning strategies, pro tips and tricks, and a lot more. Hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to stay ahead of the game. Remember, knowledge is power, and in the Upland Metaverse, that knowledge is truly your most valuable asset.
Number 1, don't let your inventory lot fill up. When building a factory, in addition to placing the factory on the property, you're going to need to have an inventory lot as well. This is where all of the items that you produced are going to be placed on that same property. Before I begin construction, I'm actually going to write that number down and save that for the future. As you produce items, those will be placed on your inventory lot. When it gets completely full, there will be no additional place for you to place these items, and the production will stop. When your production stops, you've created a bottleneck, and all of that sparklet that you have staked on your factory will not be utilized. You're going to want to make sure that once you produce these items, that you are moving them to different showrooms or different properties so that the factory can continue to produce these items and place them on the inventory lot. Number 2, as a manufacturer, you are going to be bombarded with emails every single time an item is produced. Depending on the size of the item that you're looking to produce and the amount of sparklet that you have staked on your factory, it's possible that you might be receiving emails hourly indicating that you've completed an item. So what you're going to want to do is use email filters in order to direct these emails directly to your trash bin. Here's how you're going to do it if you use Gmail. The first thing you're going to do is click on the settings button, and then from there you have the filter and blocked addresses tab. Next, you're going to create a new filter, and you're going to select the email address as from metaventures@upland.me with the subject of manufacturing complete. You can create a second filter as well with the manufacturing item added as the subject. Number 3, before you start producing an item, you want to determine what the use case of that item is. Is that going to have utility in a different layer 2 game? Is it just going to be something that's visually appealing that people will want? Or is it some sort of limited edition commemorative item? There are other use cases as well, but it's important for you to decide what you want that item to be because that will tie directly into the next 2 tips. Tip number 4 is not to overproduce. Whether you've determined that the item that you're creating can have a maximum number of mints of 100 or 10,000, it's still possible to overproduce in each of these circumstances. If you don't understand your market and if there is demand for these items, then producing a lot without the ability to sell it will be creating a lot of dead inventory. You invest your sparklet in creating these items, and if they're just going to be sitting on your factory or other places in a showroom, waiting for it to be sold to people who don't want to buy it, you are just wasting all of that sparklet that could have been used to do something else. And tip number 5 is to get your pricing right. Regardless of the number of items that you are producing, you have to understand your customers and why they would want to purchase what you are selling. If this has some sort of utility in a different layer 2 game that people want, they will be willing to pay for it. If you are just designing aesthetically pleasing items, you're going to have to ask yourself why people will want to purchase that specific item. With the barrier to manufacture items in Upland being relatively low, many people are going to be entering into the space and trying to sell and manufacture their items. If you don't have a way of reaching out and understanding your community and your potential customers, it's going to be difficult for you to sell your items, regardless of if you're creating 10,000 of them or only 10. It's important not to forget that there are manufacturers who are creating items, but there are people who own showrooms, and these are the sellers. It's possible for the same player to have both factories and showrooms. It makes complete sense as well. The more of the supply chain that you are able to control, the lower the prices you are able to provide if you so choose to your customers. In addition to factories and showrooms, there is going to be a third element to the supply chain, and that's going to be transportation. After manufacturing an item, you're going to have to transport it from your factory to the showroom in which you want to sell it from. Once the item is purchased by a player, you are going to have to ship it again from the showroom to their property. So understanding the complete supply chain is going to be important for someone who's looking to get involved in manufacturing, either from the manufacturing side of things or from the sales side of things. If you want to learn more about manufacturing Everything you need to know can be found in the link in the description below or in these upcoming videos.